Today, we're going to take this tired, stiff, dirty, old leather shirt and restore it to the beauty that I'm wearing right now. I'm Cal Ryder, and this is what I do to clean and condition my leather. Okay, so we're going to get started by using two very simple products, Lexol Deep Leather Cleaner and Lexol Deep Leather Conditioner. I just picked up both of these on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. Plus, I also have a number of clean, soft cloths. And the soft is very important. We don't want to use anything that's abrasive that might potentially scratch your leather. And I also have a bowl of clean water. So here is the leather garment that I'm going to be cleaning today. And as you can see, it is pretty well soiled. It's covered in sunscreen and in deodorant stains. So the leather here has become very dry. And the shirt has been in this condition for 2 months, but this shirt is definitely not lost. This can be saved. The most important thing that I want to point out, this cleaning method that I'm going to show you needs to be done on finished leather. What is finished leather? That is this nice, shiny leather as opposed to suede leather. Suede leather is unfinished. There's no glossy treatment to it whatsoever. If you put chemicals on this, there's a good chance you could stain it and give it permanent damage. We're gonna start by taking the deep cleaner and we're gonna give the bottle a good shake to get everything mixed up in there properly. Now the directions on the bottle say to apply it directly to a cloth and then wipe it into the leather. I personally pour it into my hand and then I use my hand to work it into the leather because I feel like if I pour it into a cloth, the cloth absorbs so much of the cleaner, so much of the conditioner, that I waste a lot of it. So again, I pour it right into my hand. But before I do anything, I'm going to take a small, insignificant portion of the leather and just test it just to see how the leather reacts to it. Because if it is going to stain or if it's going to hurt the leather in some way, I don't want to continue and I still have the opportunity to wipe it off. So I just pour it directly into my hand and then I apply it directly to the leather like that. I like to press into it to really try to get that dirt, whatever it is that's staining the leather, out and to really work the cleaner into the leather, especially in those areas that were stained. And if you feel like it's a little bit uneven, you've got more in some parts than others, so just go ahead and take your hand, wipe it off, and then move it up here. It's as simple as that. So this is looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is take a nice soft cloth and slightly dunk it in some water and begin wiping the residue, the cleaner, off of the leather. And this may take just a little bit of time. As you can see, I'm generating more suds as I continue to wipe, but the suds will dissipate. And as we move on to the next phase where we grab a dry cloth and begin drying the leather, the suds will completely disappear. And this really is picking up the remaining part of any dirt or any cleaner that's left on the leather. Okay, we finished step 1 in the leather restoration process. We've given it the deep cleaning treatment, and as you can see, we've really restored the look and the feel of this leather so beautifully. Then we gave it the towel dry treatment to get the rest of the sediment and moisture off of the leather. But you're gonna notice even after doing it, the leather is still damp, and you don't wanna let it air dry in this condition because the softer the leather, the more stiff and dry it's going to be as it air dries. So while it is still damp like this from cleaning it, we're going to move on to the next step, giving it the conditioning treatment. And to do that, you just need a conditioner like the Lexol Deep Conditioner and another dry, clean cloth. So we're gonna do this very much the same way that we did the cleaning treatment. I'm gonna give the bottle a good shake here. The directions on many of these bottles will say do not apply directly to the leather, and that is true. I don't wanna just pour it on here because again, I could stain the leather, especially if it's a colored leather. So I personally like to apply it directly to my hand. Oops, I did drop a little bit on there, so I'm gonna work fast. But what I'm going to do is just rub it into the leather using my hand and give it a solid coating, just like this. And again, just like the cleaning treatment, I want to work it into every little section of the leather and give it a good, even coating. Worst case scenario, you do get a little bit directly on your leather. Don't panic. Leather is a lot more durable than we give it credit for. I mean, that's why it's used for motorcyclists and why it's been historically used as armor. Just work it in with your hands as quickly as you can so that it doesn't sit there and potentially stain the color of your leather. But again, I'm just working it in nice and evenly with my hands, letting it absorb the conditioner. And I'm gonna really concentrate in these areas here that were the most stained at the beginning of this video because I spent a lot of time really cleaning this. So I don't want to run the risk of the leather drying out after working so hard to try to restore it. So I'm gonna continue to just work it in, buff it in with my hands, and this will really help moisturize the leather. So it's been a few minutes now since I've applied the conditioner, and I haven't even used the towel yet to do any sort of buffing. I've just continued to work it over with my hands, just really working it into the leather. And as you can see, the leather has really absorbed the conditioner. There's really no residue left on this, and that's a good sign. That tells me that the leather is absorbing the conditioner, and that means it's gonna be nice and soft when it's done. Now, if there is any conditioner that's not being absorbed by the leather, go ahead and grab a dry towel and just start buffing it into the leather. And by doing a nice, gentle, circular motion like this, it just continues to really buff it into the leather. And that is that. So now here is the finished product after conditioning it. You can just see how beautiful this looks. The leather has a nice shine to it. The dryness, the stiffness is gone, the staining is gone. This almost looks brand new again. Now, unfortunately, with conditioning your leather like this, the high shine like this is a temporary side effect because the leather is still a little bit on the damp side. As it dries, the luster will go down a little bit, but I do have a video available about how to shine your leather if you really like that high shine to your leather, which I personally do. And after a little drying time on the hanger, my shirt is just as beautiful as the first time I ever put it on. Take a look at that. There's no sign that there was ever any damage to the shirt whatsoever. It looks and feels amazing. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I personally use to clean and condition my leather. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop them down below. And until next time, gear up. I'm Cal Ryder. Thanks for watching.